Arsenal Football Club need to make a response. There's been a lot of links today, a lot of rumors that Alexander Isak has already agreed personal terms with Liverpool. Liverpool have gone out without Isak and had one of the best transfer windows from a title defending team ever. They brought in Florian Wirtz, one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, and he's young too, so he'll be here for a while. Jeremy Frimpong, one of the best right backs in the world, plays more as a right wing back. That's fine. He's going to be fine. Brings depth to the right wing and right back position. They brought in Kirkes, who was arguably the best left back in the league last year, and he's still young. If they bring in Alexander Isak, this team puts themselves so far ahead of everybody else that you might as well give them the title now. I don't like to think like that, but that's just the reality of the situation. They still have to add another left winger, and with Chiesa likely leaving and Nunez leaving, and Diaz already gone. And it seems like they're going to get Mark Gay, who is a phenomenal center back. He's one of the best center backs in the league. That makes their defense so much better than it was last year. Upgrading on Kwanzaa to Mark Gay is incredible. So, Liverpool, in my opinion, have been title favorites, and they've only gone further ahead. So what does that mean for Arsenal Football Club? How can we win the title then? All right, some people say we're only competing with one team. Oh, they don't have the center back in. They don't have the defensive depth. Whatever. What about Manchester City? Manchester City have brought in Cherki, who's a phenomenal young player, very talented. Reinders, who was probably the best midfielder in Serie A last year, greatly improves on Kovacic and Gundogan, and arguably Bernardo Silva. And Ryan Nori, in a position they've needed a real left back, not Gavardio playing out there, because Gavardio will still start most likely at center back. They brought in a real great left back. They still have to bring in a right back. Yes, all right, whatever. But people forget about their winter additions in Omar Mamouche, who's already looked great and looks like he's been a part of the Premier League forever. Nico Gonzalez, who looks very talented and is young, adds great depth to the DM position. And Kusanov, who, bar his first couple minutes against Chelsea, looks promising, looks like a talented player. They've added depth in these positions. Not only that, they're getting Ballon d'Or holder Rodri back for a full fit season. And I know City looks shaky in the Club World Cup, this, that, and the third. I don't care. They still have Pep Guardiola. They still have Erling Haaland. They still have Rodri. They still have Ruben Diaz. They still have one of the best squads, if not the best squad, in terms of depth and first team in the league. And they're coming off a season where they didn't win a trophy. They're going to be more hungry than they've ever been. They're one of four, Pete. They won a treble 2 years ago. I know they lost Kevin De Bruyne, but he hasn't been as good as he's been at his peak. And this team is still extremely strong, and in my opinion, is better than Arsenal Football Club. We are the third best team in this league. And this doesn't even include Chelsea, who are coming off of winning 2 trophies. I don't care what the Conference League is. It's a trophy. The Club World Cup, I don't care if you think it's a preseason trophy. It's a real trophy. And they smoked PSG, the best team in the world, in the final. This team could be Arsenal of 22-23 that shot into title contention way ahead of when they were supposed to. They still have Cole Palmer and Moises Caicedo. Probably them two alone make their midfield the best in the world, arguably. Cole Palmer is one of the best players in the world. Caicedo is one of the best DMs in the world. They are adding in Xavi Simons, who's yet to be signed, but extremely talented and can play in multiple positions, and Gerald Hato, who is extremely talented and can play in multiple positions. Their team is getting a lot stronger. Now, as for Arsenal, we've added Gyökeres and Zubimeni, 2 phenomenal signings, 2 great signings for me. I think Zubimeni's a downgrade on Partey, but it's about that much. It's nothing crazy. Gyökeres is a huge improvement on strikers we had in the last couple of years. And I'm very happy with those signings. I'm not upset about these signings, but we've wasted money on Madueke, who I don't think is a bad player, but I think we overpaid for him a lot more than we should have, and it could string us up from missing out on a Rodrigo and maybe an Eze. We brought in Mosquera, who's good defensive depth, but he's still young, and we don't know how he's going to translate to the Prem. We brought in Norgard, who's a Prem-proven DM, but he's not a showstopper, and he's not pushing anyone for a starting position. He's great depth for us, and I'm very appreciative of that. But those 3 signings, along with Kepa, who's a backup goalie and has looked very good, but he's a backup goalie at the end of the day. This doesn't do anything for us. Our biggest problem is the left wing position. every Arsenal fan has seen preseason, and our left wing position is the weakest position in our team. We need to move on from one of Trossard and Martinelli, and we see links today, in the last few days, that Trossard is going to leave, that he's linked with a move away to Borussia Dortmund. There was the Turkey rumors, but those kind of got shut down, and I'm fine with Trossard leaving as long as we bring in a real left winger. We can't bring in Eze and put him out on the left. As good as I think he would be, I think he would be our best left winger, but he's not a left winger. He's a 10. I want Rodrigo. I want Rafael. I want someone of that ilk to come in and vastly improve this attack because that has been the weakest third of our team. Our defense has been the best defense in the league, and we added depth to it. Great. As long as nobody's injured, as long as everyone's healthy, we have one of the best, if not the best defense in the league. Our midfield looks a lot more attacking now that Waneri looks better. Max Dowman's coming in, who I don't expect to play, but he will get probably at least one game this year off the bench, a couple of minutes. And Norgard is good depth. I appreciate him more than Jorginho because he's better defensively and because he's such a big guy and because he's such a presence, a physical presence in the midfield. But we still lack something. We still lack the Eze there. And my overall point is I want Eze and Rodrigo. And I think the signing of Madueke has log jammed us from getting that done. We now have to rely on Reece Nelson leaving to generate money, Fabio Vieira leaving to generate money, and I would think Zinchenko, but apparently Arteta convinced him to stay after he wanted to leave. Why? Why do we need him? We don't need him. Does that mean we're going to sell Kivior and Calafiori is going to be the backup left center back? Okay, we better get a good... we could probably get more money for him. We could probably get 30 to 40 million for him, which for us is like our best sale ever. But is that funding Eze or is it funding Rodrigo? Is it balancing the books and we're not signing anybody? I think we're going to sign somebody. I think it's most likely going to be Eze. But I still don't know if that's enough. I don't know if this team is a real contender for the title. We'll be there. 30 games left. We'll probably be in and around there. We'll be within 4 to 5 points of Liverpool and City. Maybe even Chelsea. But when we hit the last couple game weeks, match week 35, are we still going to be there? I don't know. We would have to see an insane drop-off from Liverpool this year, which it could happen because they're bringing in a lot of first-team players. And it's going to take time to gel, so we have to get a head start. We have to start the league hot, and we have one of the hardest schedules in the first 6 games. We have to go away to Man United, off rip. Match week 3, we go away to Liverpool. We have to play Man City and go away to Newcastle. These are places that we don't usually win. We don't win at Anfield. We didn't win last year at Old Trafford Bar. We won the year before, and Manchester United haven't beaten us in regular time, even though they beat us on penalties in the FA Cup. And I think they're not as good a team as us. It's still Manchester United away. Match week 1. Their fans are going to be there. They're going to be up for it. They have new signings like Mbeumo and Cunha. They could bring in a Šeško or a Watkins and hurt us. And we could stumble first game week. And then what is that going to do for us? We need to win the first 2 games easily and go to Anfield and get a result to even set ourselves up to have a functioning season. Because if we drop points first game week of the season, everyone's going to be shaky at home against Leeds, which I think we'll beat no matter what. But then we go to Anfield without confidence. We have to get through this first 6 game weeks with 16 points, I would say. I say we can afford to draw to Liverpool, and we can afford to draw to one of Newcastle or City. But we need to win every other game. We need to start the season hot. City aren't going to have as long a preseason as us because they played at the Club World Cup. Granted, they got knocked out earlier. Chelsea went to the final, so they're going to have a shortened preseason. We already see that with Madueke not going on the preseason tour with us. But Liverpool are fresh. They looked great, bar the AC Milan, in the preseason. They're going to bring in an Isak. And they're going to run away with this league if we don't win where we're supposed to. We've struggled with these low block, lower edge of the table Premier League teams, middle of the pack Premier League teams like Fulham, like Palace, like Brentford. And we can't afford to lose points to those teams this year. We have to be near perfect. Liverpool are going to score over 100 goals this year, in my opinion, if they add Isak. They are going to get over 90 points. Manchester City are going to be high 80s to 90 points. And we haven't broke 90 points in this team. We got to 89, and we lost the league. So, I think Arsenal still needs to add a huge addition in Rodrigo. I think that is the player that would make me personally turn around and look at this season like, all right, we can win it. We can win the Prem. We can win the Champions League. We can do a cup double, because a cup alone isn't good enough. But a cup double for me personally and top 4 would satisfy me. So, and the Champions League, let's not even get into other European teams, because Barcelona are a young team that looked like the best team in the world bar PSG last year, and they've added Marcus Rashford, who, oh, Rashford isn't that good, he's washed up. He's going to look great in their team. Don't sleep on him. Bayern Munich are without Musiala, but they add Luis Diaz, which they drastically need a winger. They're going to be a good team next year. Real Madrid, Xavi Alonso, they look good in the Club World Cup, bar the PSG game. They're going to be better than they were last year. Don't act like because we beat them home and away that we're just going to Declan Rice is going to score 2 more free kicks and we're going to beat them again. Inter Milan could come back and look like a top team. They're aging a bit, so maybe they don't. PSG are still the best team in the world, in my opinion. They are still the best team in the world. We are not capable of dethroning them right now in the Champions League. So, maybe everything I'm saying is being negative. Maybe I'm being pessimistic. But we need a huge signing to come in. If it's Eze, I think we've had a great window. I wouldn't expect us to win the Premier League. I'd give us 3rd place. Champions League, quarters to semis again. Same old story. Maybe a cup. I think that's pretty likely, but it's not enough to keep Arteta in the job. It's been 6 years since the FA Cup. It's been 5 years since the FA Cup. It will be 6 at the end of the season. And another FA Cup isn't going to make up for the last couple of seasons. So, drop what you think in the comments. Like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.